Hello friends, hello in another quick video. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the project that I've been working probably for a few hours, and eventually I have created a very simple password manager application. So what is so special? Like, aren't there thousands of such applications? Why another one? So I wanted to create a password manager application for myself for quite a few time. After countless attempts to find one that I could use in my team, I just decided that there doesn't seem to be one that will work exactly as easy as we expect. So the first problem that we wanted to tackle was ease of backups, but then eventually we moved on to things like sharing passwords between team members. That is particularly hard problem to crack because a lot of password managers are exactly protecting you from anyone knowing your password. So the whole idea of sharing your passwords is kind of like a bolt-on on many existing password managers, an afterthought maybe, something that has been added against the will of creators, you can feel. And that immediately removes probably half of the tools that are out there because they are not going to work, and you are going to work against them for most of the time. Then there is a category of tools which have been created as a team shared password managers, and most of the time they work the following way. You select a password, you can send it securely to another known team members, and that's all right, provided that you want to enter those credentials, and provided that you know what you want to send, and you, as a owner of those password entries, know which are the things that your colleagues are going to need. And that is a little bit of limitation if you think about it, because sometimes they know better what they want to access, and they need to tell you somehow in another channel, I need access to this, and to that, and that eventually will allow you to send them the required passwords. But it actually requires a lot of work and back and forth and switching between different tools. There's also a concept where you can create a shareable link, but actually it's a same problem. The group of people need to tell you what they need, and you need to think about sending them a link that would either expire after one use or 2 uses, and you need to manage all of that. But what if we turn things around a bit? And that's the idea behind the SecureVault. So the idea behind the SecureVault is first to be very small, easy to back up, easy to move, provide a version history, everything that you would typically expect from a typical password manager, but something that actually turns the whole idea upside down. So instead of creating password entries that you would eventually share to some other people, there is per entry access control built right from the beginning. And the whole team can browse your entire password manager catalog of entries. But the only team members that have been provided explicitly read access can actually read the contents. So if somebody knows what they need, they can request access to the things that they would like to have their passwords to. So instead of asking people, do you have password to this? Have I sent you the password to the other one? Can you access this? Maybe I'll have a look and share the entries over email Teams or maybe over secure link. You just say, well, we all know the same passwords. There is a catalog of all the entries. If you ever need anything, just click one and get it off the shelf. But obviously not everybody is entitled to read any password from the shelf. So how does the access rights work? They work so that you don't have to set up those access rights yourself, but people request to access, and then the owner of that entry can approve or deny access to a requested resource. So that's very, very simple, but I couldn't find any tool that does it. So I eventually used the power of automation and created the whole thing in one shot. The whole thing is actually very, very easy to set up because it's only file-based. There's no database at the backend. So people criticize, like, how do you got a database without a database? Well, you don't need to have a database for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, maybe even 10,000 entries. We've tested it with more than that. And it seems like there is very little slowdown, or none at all, if you just use files for such small databases of password. So the typical workflow, that is the heart of this tool, is the access request workflow I just described. So a teammate hits a locked entry that they want to have access to, maybe a network drive, maybe something else. The owner of that entry is notified that somebody wants to access the password that he has stored. When the owner is notified, he or she can decline or approve access for a specific person to a specific entry, and everything remains on the record because the grant shows in the entry's version history. So you can see when and who has given the access to whom at a given time. And the SecureVault is actually very, very easy. It can be compared against similar solutions because, as we have stated in the beginning, there are probably thousands of password managers to compete with. And it actually works, can be self-hosted, which adds another layer of security for many companies. So you can just deploy it within minutes. Literally, you just clone the repo and you say .NET run and off you go. So that essentially surpasses a lot of tools in that category. Runs with no database server. That's kind of unique. It's almost like a shared spreadsheet that you remember from decades ago. There is a per secret access list, which is very much a unique feature because it gives you this access control lists per entry, not per folder, not per vault. It doesn't require you to set up like a special vault for every single team or every single group of people that you want to work with. You get the finest granularity for every entry by default. Very little maintenance. There is a built-in request approve workflow that I just described to you, and that is quite a unique thing. Obviously not entirely unique, but quite unique with a comparable set of features that you get in a whole package. There's a audit trail who opened which secret. That is something very, very important because sometimes you just need to know. And I think that I was surprised how few competitive products products have exposed the same functionality. A very simple one. I just want to know who has access to the password. Was it Monday? Was it Tuesday? Did they ever read the password? Maybe they didn't. And yeah, data readable and backed up with standard tools. That's a huge benefit because the tool doesn't use any special database, any Docker, any SQL Server, anything like that. You can just zip it and back it up, provided that you've got the access to the server that hosts the passwords. Then it's very, very easy to set up a backup of that whole repository of passwords. And well, there's another benefit. Hey, there's no monthly fee because the whole thing is free. There's very, very easy setup guide that lets you start and have the whole system up and running within minutes. Maybe even 1 minute if you've got the right server. There's a lot of things that you can build upon it because the code base is very, very small. It's literally just a .NET 10 application that manipulates files. And from that perspective, it has got surprisingly little footprint, and it's surprisingly easy to maintain, extend. So these are the commands that you would need to run just to get started. Literally 3 commands that you need to issue to your system. So yeah, there you go. There's a SecureVault. There's a password manager I wanted to have for a long time. And obviously there's lots of gaps. You would ask about desktop application, mobile application, maybe some other add-ins that you can add to your Chrome or even mobile browser. These are the things I might add in the future. Why not? Very easy. But the basic functionality of you getting quick access to the password entries that you want with a decent search engine that actually works is already there for you to use. So hopefully you would like it. I recommend you try it first and tell me in the comments maybe what you think. It's out there. Thank you very much.